There was a recent article by the website Electric talking about how the new Kia EV5 is going to take the fight to the Tesla Model Y in China and basically eat into Tesla's sales. Not only Tesla's, but also Chinese EVs, because it's priced so incredibly competitively and it's an excellent product. Now, yes, the EV5, the Kia EV5 does look like it will be very, very impressive. The price looks excellent too. But this article actually is obscuring the fact that Hyundai and Kia are likely going to go bankrupt in China. Now, the reality here is for these two car companies, their sales have fallen so drastically, it's truly staggering. In fact, Chinese citizens are actively shunning South Korean cars. And whilst the new EV5 may be priced very competitively and could very well undercut the Tesla Model Y, the reality is that Tesla outsells Kia and Hyundai by nearly 200%. And that trend is only widening. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. Great to see you. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching the Electric Viking. Kia and Hyundai, they once did not too badly in China. In 2016, both companies together were selling nearly 1.5 million cars per year. They had a staggering 5% of the Chinese car market, the biggest car market in the world. Well, since then, things have drastically changed. For example, sales have plummeted by a staggering number. In fact, they've lost 80% of their market share. Sales have crashed. However, Kia and Hyundai don't plan to give up on the Chinese car market anytime soon. And that is why they're pricing, or apparently they're going to price the Kia EV5 at a very low price. Experts say $22,000 US will be the price that it will come in as. So will it succeed? Well, unfortunately, I think it's extremely unlikely. However, does that mean you shouldn't be buying a Kia EV5? Absolutely not. I think the Kia EV5 is a great car. If you think about Kia and Hyundai, their car sales have continued to grow year over year over year. Worldwide, their numbers are staggering. China, completely different story. Now, Electric says that the Kia EV5 will start much cheaper than expected, massively undercutting Tesla's Model Y in China. After the new EV5's debut last week, we're learning the same price of the compact electric SUV. And they say it's a pleasant surprise. The Kia EV5 is much cheaper than the Tesla Model Y. At $22,000 US, it's going to be a bargain. Guys, this is a completely misleading article. It will not cost, it's kind of giving you the idea that the EV5 will be cheaper than a Model Y. Much cheaper. In fact, based on these numbers, it'll be 40% cheaper than a Tesla Model Y. Completely false. Kia and Hyundai are basically putting on a last-ditch effort to not have their sales completely be eliminated in China. They're willing to sell these EVs at a significant loss. They won't be exporting these EVs from China around the world and then selling them at anywhere near these kinds of prices. And that's the impression that this article is giving. It's not correct at all. Now, what else do we know? Well, the EV5 is built on the new eGMP platform. It should have 350 kilowatt fast charging. It's clearly a very practical sized car. It's not as long as a Tesla Model Y, but it is still a decent, very, very well proportioned vehicle. It's about 4.6 meters long, 4,615 millimeters, 1,875 millimeters wide, and 1,715 millimeters tall. So in terms of interior space, not too much, probably about 5% smaller than a Model Y, meaning the price is actually extremely good. Now, people are saying local reports expect the Kia EV5 to have a starting price of around $40,000 US. And it's going to be even cheaper than that in China. Now, guys, this is completely wrong. There is no pricing revealed yet, unfortunately, for the Kia EV5. I think it was $40,000 US, and that was approximate price worldwide, which is what we're being led to believe here. Then it would be a bargain. I'd be saying, guys, put a pre-order in. This is a great car for $40,000 US. Unfortunately, it wouldn't qualify for the EV incentives in the United States, but it would in many other countries. I would definitely say, have a damn good look at this thing. This is not true at all. We don't have any pricing information for the Kia EV5. We don't have Hyundai, Kia have released no information about their pricing of this mid-range sized EVs. When I say Hyundai as well, Hyundai will have a similar vehicle coming probably within the next 18 months as well. So does the new Kia EV5 actually massively undercut the new Tesla Model Y? Well, no one really knows yet. We don't even know if this is really the price. This is just like a leak that someone's revealed, so we don't actually know if that's true. But we do know one good thing about the EV5, and I hope that they actually deploy this one thing in the EV5 in other countries. I think if they did, they'd sell even more of them, and they could make the price even lower. And this is one of the reasons the price is low. This will be Kia's first electric car with a lithium iron phosphate battery pack. A little bit controversial here because Kia and Hyundai usually always use South Korean batteries, as in ternary batteries or NCA or NCM chemistry batteries from LG Chem, LG Energy Solutions, Samsung SDI, etc. in their EVs. Of course, if you're a South Korean car company, you should use South Korean battery manufacturers when you're trying to basically fight off the dominance of China in the battery industry. Now, obviously, the battery industry is growing massively. China is growing at a really fast pace. South Korea was, in fact, they did have the biggest battery company in the world. LG Chem was for a few months. However, they've since lost that. They're down to third place now. They're not really growing at the same pace as BYD and CATL. So yeah, it is very interesting to see them support BYD. I think this maybe does in some way prove that BYD's new battery technology, the Blade battery, is a very, very, very good battery pack, and that is worth considering. The base model, they say, will have an 82 kilowatt hour battery. That's what Electric says. Now, I don't think that's very likely. I think the base model will probably have the 60 kilowatt hour battery pack from the BYD Atto 3, which is also in the Tesla Model Y that's sold in Germany, in other European countries. Now, to give you a full idea of what's really going on for Kia and Hyundai in China, and the true picture of those car companies and why they're probably likely to simply declare bankruptcy in China, it's the easiest solution. I'll have a new video coming very soon. When I say bankruptcy, I'm not saying Kia and Hyundai will go bankrupt, not by any stretch of the imagination. They're doing incredibly well. Their profit margins are healthy. In my opinion, their EV rates of their build numbers are a bit low. Models are excellent. Build numbers, they're starting to lose ground. They definitely are, because BYD, Mercedes-Benz, even BMW, they're growing at nearly 100% growth rates. So are some of the other competitors. Whereas Hyundai and Kia, they're slowing down in terms of their production. Now, that may change very soon. However, here's the reality. Kia and Hyundai now have less than 2% of the Chinese car market. That's down from 11% back in its heyday. That's massively declining sales. And the reality is here that the perception of Hyundai and Kia in China is not positive. Unfortunately, it's not really a fair perception, but they're perceived to be a negative car brand right now. One of the key reasons for that is Kia and Hyundai adopted the wrong strategy. Chinese consumers believe that they made a mistake. Chinese experts say that Kia and Hyundai went all in on hydrogen in China. It didn't work. And so they're sort of playing a big game of catch up here with EVs in China. Therefore, they're willing to potentially sell the Kia EV5 to try and sort of like a last ditch gamble here to try and claw back some market share in the world's biggest market. But there is a very strong discussion in South Korea about whether or not it makes sense for Kia and Hyundai even continue to exist in China. They're not making any profits there. And I don't really see how it's benefiting them at all. In fact, they're kind of playing a losing game there. Now, this is really not a very different story to the reality here behind, say, a car company like Tesla, where obviously Electric's saying Tesla was that threat. They're in a position of being threatened by Kia and the EV5. Now, if the EV5 sells in, say, even 20% of the numbers of the Model Y, I would be utterly blown away and shocked. It won't. But if it did, and it should, at these prices, in fact, it should sell millions. But the reality is it simply won't. And there's a whole litany of reasons for that. The perception of Kia and Hyundai is not as an EV car company. Perception of their quality in China is low. And that's not my perception. That's perception from experts and Chinese consumers. Obviously, quality isn't low. I don't think it is at all. But that's one of the key reasons why Kia and Hyundai will likely pull out of the Chinese car market completely. The easiest way to do that is to just declare bankruptcy in the country. That's what Stellantis did with Jeep recently. And that's what Mitsubishi have done as well within the last few months. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and thank you for watching. Bye-bye.